Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle, the original indigenous billionaire. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna drop a little info for y'all real quick. Let me just make sure. Hey, what's going on, y'all? All right. What's going on? Making sure I'm good with the audio. Audio is good. Audio is good. Okay, just doing a little bit of news reporting because I'm certainly sure this information will not be blown up all over CNN and NBC and all these different, you know, um, super media platforms. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna share some news with y'all, and I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. Okay, the number one reason, of course, is to put the news out there. All right, and there's also a hidden message in that. And what I'm going to do after I do this broadcast or the news, I'm going to talk about something else that's within the news, talking about, abortion and all that stuff. I'm going to touch on it a little bit. I know it's a little bit sensitive, so I'm not going to get too involved with that, but I am going to touch on that just a little bit. But hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Everything is great. It's a beautiful day out here in New York. Um, I'm highly favored. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blessed, but I'm highly favored. All right. So greetings to each and every one of you, and I'm sending much love and positive energy. So without further ado, I'm gonna get right into this, and I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, and let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. You did. All right, where we at? Boom, boom, boom. And the reason why, first, let me just say, one of the main reasons why I'm sharing this today. I'm sharing this because you see, a lot of people are so blinded, by religion, institutions, and the majority of the masses, they don't use what's called logical thinking. They're just intellectual beings, and there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? And people don't really think with logic. They just go based on what they are told. But you see, for me, I'm a critical thinker. I just don't look at things at the surface and just believe everything. I don't have a belief system. Okay. I deal with a system of knowing. It's either I know or I don't know. I have left this belief system for many, 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 many years, and I only deal with the no. So why I'm sharing this is because we as a people, we are led to believe that there is a certain chosen people, and they don't know the history of these people at all, but they just go based on what it is. And your taxes, everything that you earn is taken by, the US government, which is a corporation, and it supports everybody else around the world. You know what I'm saying? But yet still the original indigenous Americans, we here in the Americas, and for some reason, like I always say, everybody else come to the Americas and they live the American dream. But we are the only one living the nightmare. You know what I'm saying? You may ask, well, Chief, what does that have to do with what you're sharing today? It's just to go to show you the underlying nature, okay, of these people, but you don't know who they are. Because why? Anyone who controls the press, anyone who controls the media, anyone who control the printing, companies, they control the narrative. And it has always been that way. Even before there was television, even before, you had these big news medias, they had printing press. Okay. And go back into his story and realize who owned the printing press. So once again, you're able to control the narrative. All right. So you have over 99% of the population, regardless of what ethnic group, who they are today is based on what people projected them to be. In other words, they created their reality for them. Over 99% of the masses are not who they're supposed to be. They're not living their purpose. You see what I'm saying? They're living someone else's dream. They're living someone else's narrative. As strange as it may seem. All right. So when I'm done with this news, this little news I'm about to drop on y'all, I'll explain exactly, why, or I'll expound on why I had to do this. Okay. So let's go. Mayors, that came out July 23rd. That was a few years ago, right? That was literally a while. I'm not sure how many people heard about it, but I went back to it for a particular reason. And it says, okay, mayors, rabbis arrested in New Jersey corruption probe. Because when we come on here and we do videos and we talk about human trafficking, you know what I'm saying? Then YouTube and Facebook, they tend to flag those videos because they think we're spreading propaganda. You see what I'm saying? And not that they think it, you know, they just don't want us to put the truth out there. You see what I'm saying? Because it put light on certain ethnic groups that they don't want you to know about. Why? Because they control the media. They own the NFL teams. They own the NBA teams. They own the baseball. They own the banks. They own the courts. They own the police. They own the federal government. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you put information out there that's shining light on what they do, then of course they're going to censor that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I went back to that for a reason. Okay, so Newark Reuters, dozens of New Jersey politicians, officials, and prominent rabbis were arrested on Thursday in a sweeping federal probe that uncovered political corruption, human organ sales, and money laundering from New York to what Israel officials says. All right. Now, when you hear about human trafficking, I guarantee you, okay, I guarantee you, I'm not guessing, I guarantee you over 99% of the human trafficking, the people are people who look just like us. Why is that, you may ask, Chief Kalanago? It is because you don't know who you are. You don't know what you possess in your temple, but they know. You see, that's the problem. They know. My people have lost their true identity. And I'm not talking about a physical identity. I'm not talking about, oh, American Aborigines or African, original Africans or original Europeans or original Asians. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it more so from what people may deem a spiritual perspective. I'm talking about it from a soulful perspective. You don't know who you are. You don't know that you are immortal. And if only you took the time to let go of all the images or ideologies of who they told you that you are, you will find your true self. You feel me? So the organ harvesting and laundering, it is because of your genes, your genetic code. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, I had to write a book, which I'm not almost done. I'm on page 97 right now. You know, I'm taking my time. You know what I'm saying? I'm being moved by the soul, you know, to put those words on paper. You see what I'm saying? Because I have to break this down. Somebody got to break it down. You feel me? And we have to realize that there is man and there's mankind. There is a difference. There is man and there is human beings. Human beings and mankind are the same. It's just a different name. All right. But you have man. And when I say man, I'm talking about the original man and woman. Okay. Because the truth of, and I'm breaking all that down in my book. The truth of the matter is, it was just man. There was no such thing as woman. And before y'all get into y'all panties tied up in a bunch, let me explain to you what I mean. Okay. Before there was woman, okay, it was just man. You had masculine man and you had feminine man. All right. They were not manifested from the womb. They projected themselves here on earth. So nobody came from the womb. Then, you see what I'm saying? Now, when they projected themselves from the womb, that's when that was the first woman. And womb man just basically means woman male and woman female. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm breaking all that down in my book so you'll get a clear understanding of what I'm talking about. Because if you truly know who you are, then you'll know what I'm talking about. You feel me? So with that being said, you have to know who you are. Okay? So let me read this again. Dozens of New Jersey politicians, officials, and prominent rabbis were arrested on Thursday in a sweeping federal probe that uncovered political corruption, human organ sales, and money laundering from New York to Israel, officials said. The 10-year investigation, dubbed Operation Big Rig, exposed influence peddling and bribe taking among a network of public officials and a separate multi-million-dollar money laundering ring that funneled funds through charities operated by local rabbis, said the U.S. Attorney Office in Newark, New Jersey. The cast of 44 arrested featured Hoboken, New Jersey Mayor Peter Camerono, who took the office 3 weeks ago in the industrial city visible across the Hudson River from New York. Others accused were mayors of nearby Secaucus and Richfield, state of assemblyman, a deputy mayor, city council members, housing planning and zoning officials, building inspectors, and political candidates. New Jersey's corruption problem is one of the worst, if not the worst, in the nation, said N. Carrier, assistant special agent in charge of FBI white collar crime. Okay, yes, there's white collar crime and there's black collar crime, right? White collar crime is the one you get away with until they don't allow you to get away with it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what white collar crime is basically. Okay, not necessarily committed by so-called people. That's called white. All right, and public corruption program in New Jersey, who has worked on the investigation since the beginning in July 1999. It has become ingrained in the New Jersey's political culture, he said, calling corruption a cancer. All right, now I'm not going to read the rest of this article. It's actually in the link below so that you could go read it yourself. But I'm reading this just to point something out. Why? Because these people, okay, and when I say these people, I'm going to be very particular with the words that I use because I don't want it to come across. You already know. Once you start talking about the people who call themselves Jews, then all of a sudden you're anti-Semite. Why? Because they don't want you to put out the truth about these people. Once again, they control the media. You feel me? So anything you say, then it may be deemed as if you're anti. You feel me? But I'm just here to report the news. Okay? So with that being said, these people call themselves the chosen people of God. They call themselves Jewish people. Now, you have to ask yourself this question. When you say you're the chosen people of God, what God are you talking about? Because you definitely wasn't chosen by my God, because I ain't got no God. You feel me? So, and a lot of times when people hear me talk like that, they get scared and they get nervous. Once again, I'm going to break all that down in my book. I'm going to break down what is God, who is God, is there a God? I'm going to give y'all the truth. I'm not talking about belief. In this book, I'm literally going deep. I had to take my time and tap into source. And I'm talking about tap into source truth to break all this down. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to put all that information in the book. But when these people call themselves chosen people of God, what are they talking about? Which God? Because there are many gods. You feel me? So what God are you talking about? And when the allegorical Bible, and I'm saying allegorical Bible because it wasn't literal, when the allegorical Bible speak of the first shall be the last and the last shall be the first, what are they talking about? Who is the first that became last, and who's the last and who's the last that came first and will be last again? You see what I'm saying? So all that stuff is literally symbolic. It's all allegory. Okay, and I'm breaking all that down in my book. You feel me? So these folks right here, all these people, even the people from Ukraine, all these people are Canaanites. All right, they are Canaanites. And don't get it twisted. You have to know how to get into the information and not just look at it at face value. You have to literally break it down. Okay, so I'm showing you guys just this part to show you that don't get it twisted about the chosen people of God and all that stuff. Nah, these people are corrupt. You see what I'm saying? They are corrupt. They're the same people who own the jails. They own the courts, like I said. They own the government. Okay, they own the banks. Okay? So you have to know that. That's number one. Number two, I'm not one to condone any kind of violence. However, I am an advocate for self-defense. So with that being said, when you look at the situation in Ukraine right now, right? It's unfortunate that innocent people have to lose their lives. But how is that? The United States is spending billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, billions of dollars to help Ukraine. Okay. But yet still, they opened up the US ports, okay, so that over 100,000 Ukrainians could come into the United States, right? But yet still, when the Haitians, they wanted to come into the US through Mexico, they were doing what? They were hunting them down on horses, treating them like criminals. Nobody was in an uproar. You know why? Because they're Haitians. When the Bahamians, people from Bahamas, when they had that storm or that hurricane in the Bahamas, and they wanted refuge and they came into the United States, they were chasing them down on horses with dogs like criminals. You see what I'm saying? Nobody was in an uproar for that. But yet still, these people are American Aborigines. You see what I'm saying? So when I tell my people things happen to us because we allow it to happen to us, it's your fault. Don't blame anybody else when things happen, because we don't fight for our own. You feel me? And then it's your tax dollars. It is your tax dollars that you pay taxes that take care of everybody else. The entire world was built on our backs. The entire world is still being supported on our backs. And we just can't see it, or we refuse to see it. You feel me? But let me show you something else. Give me 1 second. So that is just a little news. And of course, that happened years ago. But I just wanted to bring it up again, because these people, they play the "we are the chosen people of God" role. You see what I'm saying? But you don't know what they do behind the scenes. I just want to point that out. Okay? Let me stop sharing my screen and share something else real quick. Because a lot of people don't know what this Bible is about, man. And that's why I have to break that down in my book. People don't know what it's about. Okay? I'm telling y'all, right? The Bible is not what you think it is. Let me see where we're going to go. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Give me 1 second while I pull that up. I mean, I already have the article. I just want to go through that one part. And these people, they're the ones telling you who they are. I'm not making this up. Okay, let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Joe Biden, all of them, they're Canaanites. Okay, they're Canaanites. Nobody here in the Americas or in the United States have the right to call themselves Americans except us. Everybody else is a United States citizen. And it just irks my nerve when we just keep calling everybody Americans and we don't correct these people. You feel me? So if we don't stand up for ours, then what do you think is going to happen? It's left to be taken. So don't blame anybody because we don't step up. All right? We can't blame anybody. Right? And one man, one woman is only so much you could do. You know? Let me see if I could pull it up. Give me a second if I could find this. And I'm not here race bashing anybody. I'm just here pointing out the truth, man. Okay? But it seems like whenever you speak the truth, you're being censored. You know what I'm saying? It goes against, their community standards. It's okay for brothers and sisters to get on YouTube and Facebook and talk about how they're going to kill each other. That's cool, though. That's not violating their standards. All right? But while I'm looking for this, I'm going to talk quickly about abortion because I don't want to just be rambling on here, right? This whole, first off, let me explain something to y'all. Until you get it into your skulls that the United States is a corporation, then you will always be in your emotions. My brothers and sisters, the United States is not a country. It is not a nation. The United States is a corporation. I've been telling y'all that for years. Okay. You don't believe me? Go look at Title 28, Section 3002, subsection 15, capital A, United States, a federal corporation. So if indeed that's a fact, and it is, the United States is a corporation, then what do you think? It's always about business. That's why they will tell you, don't take it personal. It is business. But because the majority of our people, they're taught to go to school, get good grades, and get good jobs, they were not taught the basic fundamentals of owning a business or being business minded. Even Jay-Z told you in his song, right? I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. I mean, it may sound a little bit contradicting, but it's not, because Jay-Z know what he's talking about. And I've been teaching y'all that for years. But once again, my people are a stiff-necked people. You feel me? So when we're talking about this whole abortion situation, they are playing on the emotions of these so-called black women. You feel me? They are playing on your emotions, because I promise you, this is not for a freedom of your choice. The United States, there is no choice. You think there is, but there is no choice for the so-called, and I'm saying so-called because I'm not black, so-called black woman and so-called black man. For black people, there is no choice. You feel me? So when they talk about abortions, who do you think is going to affect more? Do you think they care about your right to have a baby or not? No. As a matter of fact, they want you to have, they want you not to have the baby. That's why New York right now, they're spending millions of dollars to support women that want to have abortions. Now, of course, people are going to talk about, well, Chief, what happens if somebody get raped? I'm not going to get into all that. All right. Those are unfortunate situations. So my thing is, it's not about whether you have the right to choose or not. That's not what it is. It's the reason why they are pushing it. Why? And then our people don't see beyond the action of mankind. Yes, mankind, the humans. Y'all don't see it because you don't know the difference. You think everybody is the same. Okay, go look in their book, in their Bible. Why do you think they talk about man and mankind? So let me ask you a question. If there is a mankind, then in whose image was that mankind made? And if they tell you that that mankind was made in the image of God, then therefore God is a man. Because again, logical thinking. If something was made in the, if something called mankind was made in the image of something, it's a kind of man, then what kind of man? Where's the man at? Ah, you see, people don't think about those things. And if you say, well, it's in the image of God, then why is it mankind and not God kind? You feel me? It is because they were made in the image of you and I. We are not the same. We have different genetics. One is immortal and one is mortal. One has a soul, a divine soul, and one has a soul that's not divine. He is more of a spiritual being. You feel me? All spirit means is breath. Everybody got a spirit. Everybody breathes. The Spirit of God moved on the water. That means the breath of God. But not everybody have a divine soul. We are soul beings. We are different people. Okay? So you have soul beings and you have lunar beings. The lunar beings meaning that they're governed by the moon. They are water beings. And the lunar beings, humankind or mankind, rather, mankind, they cannot survive without man, which is the original people of the planet. So, like I said, I'm breaking all that stuff down in my book from the very beginning. I took it to the very beginning, okay? But for us, we don't have a beginning, therefore we don't have an end. All right? It's only mankind, humans, okay, that have a beginning because they were created. We were never created. So they have to give you the perception of you were created. So they put the fear in you that you have to look for a savior. We don't need no savior. We have to save ourselves. They need a savior, not us. And you have to know the difference. I'm trying to see if I could find that for y'all while I'm actually talking. So let me go back to this whole abortion thing. With the abortion thing, it's not about the rights of black women. Okay, that's not what it is. Okay, what we have to do is teach our children responsibility. Okay, because as the original beings of the planet, our covenant within ourselves was to be fruitful and multiply and have dominion over everything, including mankind. You feel me? That was support. That's our covenant. Be fruitful and multiply. But for some reason, we fell, we kind of fell off of that. And that's what sin is. Sin is not, you sleep with your neighbor's wife. That's not a sin. Okay? That is not a sin. That is a statutory law or a code. Okay? A sin is actually missing the mark. And what is missing the mark? Missing the mark is the intended purpose, that covenant, okay? To be fruitful and multiply, subdue, and have dominion. And if you cannot fulfill that, then that's a sin. All right? And like I said, I'm breaking all that down in my book. But I wanted to show you in this article where they're talking about, here it is, okay? What is known concretely about Ukrainian Jewish contacts before the new era? At the very least, a Jewish community already existed in Kievan Rush in the 10th century, and it was not Ashkenazic, because the people who call themselves Jews nowadays, they're actually Ashkenazic and Khazarians. Okay, they were apparently what? Canaanite Jews who spoke Slavic languages and not Yiddish, which had not been formed yet. So, Chief Kalanaga, what are you saying? What I'm saying is those people are the Canaanites, all right? The Slavic people, the original slaves. I just wanted to show you that part right here. But I'll put that in the description so you could read that yourself, okay? So you could read it yourself. But I'm going to share this part here real quick for y'all. Now, I know I'm going in circles because that wasn't planned. This video wasn't planned, okay? I just decided to do it because I guess you guys were in my thoughts. So I just wanted to kind of like share a little bit of energy with y'all. But let me show you this real quick, okay? I'm also going to put this article in the description. And once again, I'm letting it be known. I'm not race bashing or no, that's not what it is. I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you truth, okay? That's what it is. It's just for educational purposes, right? What is known concretely about Ukrainian Jewish contacts before the new era? At the very least, a Jewish community already existed in Kievan Rus in the 10th century, and it was not Ashkenazic. They were apparently Canaanite Jews who spoke Slavic languages, not Yiddish, which had not been formed yet. Okay? So I just want y'all to know once again, the people who are calling themselves the chosen people of God, okay, those people were actually, not just them, but of their likes. They were the original, actually, slaves. Okay, they not just them, but they came from the root of the biblical Adam, so to speak. Okay, and I've told y'all before, we're not Adamites. But for those of you who want to believe that, that's on you. Okay. Adam was the creation of mankind, the humans. Okay. We were on this earth millions and millions of years. We traveled, we walked this earth with the dinosaurs. What do you think birds are? Birds are a devolved dinosaur. If you don't believe me, go do your research. Just like how we devolved, the birds, everything devolved. You feel me? Birds are devolved, and the dinosaurs are the ancestors of birds. Just like how we are ancestors and we devolve. We devolve in our mindset and we devolve in our body. The type of bodies we have now, we don't have those bodies anymore. Okay. In the time of the dinosaurs, or what we call pre-Adamic, meaning that before Adam, the atmosphere was different. Okay, there was literally zero to no oxygen in the atmosphere. It was nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide. Okay. Now you may ask yourself, what does that mean? It means that the air was so light we were able to levitate. So when people talk about, oh, they who built the pyramid, they don't know. I know how the pyramid was built. You see what I'm saying? They know, they just won't tell you. And it wasn't the Egyptians that built the pyramids. Okay, the pyramids been around for millions of years. You feel me? Our ancestors who were Egyptians, they came and met the pyramids there. All right, because the pyramids were created as what they may call for religious purposes, so to speak, especially the ones in the Americas. They are the oldest ones on the planet. Okay, and they're the most sophisticated. Why? Because they were made for religious purposes, and it was broadcasting energy from the cosmos, solar energy, into the rest of the world. You dig? And once again, I know I'm kind of like all over the place with this, but I'm saying all that to say, for number one, the number one reason of people that keep calling themselves the chosen people of God, you have to ask yourself, what God are they talking about? Which God? Because there are different gods. Even in the Bible, they have different gods. Me personally, I don't have one. Okay. But I'm just saying. Secondly, I'm talking about, I wanted to point out that human trafficking and organ harvesting is real, because they got arrested for it. You could research that. It's a fact. So when you are talking about it on social media, don't let people make you think that you're hating on other people. Now, they do it for real. But the question is, why do they do it? So that's number one. Another reason for this video, again, is to talk about, which goes along with the organ harvesting, is about the abortions. When you abort your baby as a black woman, because y'all think y'all black, right? What do you think they do with the aborted baby? There lies the big, what they call, monkey in the room. The gorilla in the room is, what do they do with these aborted babies? See, y'all don't get that. It's a business. So having abortions is a business. You feel me? Your baby is worth more dead than alive. That's why they want you to think you have a choice. So they play with your emotions. But our women, our people are so lost. They're gone. So they don't get it. They don't get it, man. So that's why I wanted to kind of touch on that. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. I'm telling you the reason why in the United States they will push for you to have it. You feel me? But I promise you, they're not the ones having the abortions. No, you know why? Because they have to be fruitful and multiply. But now they don't want you to do that. You feel what I'm saying? Why do you think they're pushing relationships that's unnatural? Because they don't want you to be fruitful and multiply. That's the actual sin. It's called missing the mark. But you see, y'all don't know what the Bible is about. So that's the second part of this video, or the message in this. And the third part of the message is letting you know who the Canaanites of the Bible are. The Canaanites are the cursed people. Okay? They were at the bottom. If you don't believe me, go look at the history of these people that call themselves the chosen people of God right now. They were persecuted all over the world. They were hated the most. They got to the bottom. What do you think happened in Germany? Adolf was trying to won the world. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want this video to get taken down. Okay? He was trying to won the world. But then it had to be that the first became the last and the last became the first. Who's first right now? Who owns everything right now? You see how I brought it back into 360? Because I'm giving you facts. I could validate everything I'm talking about. So in conclusion, my message or my concluding message is this. Let us allow these humans to do what they got to do. You see, we getting too involved in humanity. You feel what I'm saying? In the affairs of mankind. Because the truth of the matter is we were not supposed to mix with mankind. We were not supposed to do that. We wasn't supposed to do that. Their job, we created them to till the earth. In other words, when I say till, for resources, we created this earth for resources so we could use in different dimensions. You feel me? Different planets. That's what we used it for. And that's what we created them for, to till the land. That was their purpose. Adam was the first robot, the first artificial intelligence. See, we are intelligence, and all humans are artificial intelligence. Humans, when we created humans, we created them with the lack of intelligence. We gave them intellect. There's a difference. And like I said, I'm breaking all that down in my book. You feel me? And I'm breaking down the two hells, the two heavens. I'm breaking all that down. So what's considered heaven to us is hell for them. Okay? And what's considered hell to them is heaven for us, because we are solar beings. The sun is our heaven, so to speak, the soul. And the soul is their hell. You feel me? So it could get a little complicated, but once you are able to break down the word, and that's why my book is called In the Beginning Was the Word. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have to, trust me, brothers and sisters, right? You have to get the word. If you don't get the word, or you cannot comprehend the word, trust me, you will be lost. I promise you that. And I don't care what Jesus you serve. I don't care what Allah you serve. I don't care what Buddha you serve. If you cannot get the word, you are just worshiping false idols. Okay? Because man wasn't supposed to worship anything or anybody. It was the humans that were supposed to worship, because they were the ones that were created, not us. We were not created. We projected ourselves here on earth. And that's facts. And all that stuff is written in the book. You just have to be able to break it down. So stop always trying to fit in with the humans. Let mankind do what they're gonna destroy themselves anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's going to happen. What do you think all this wars is about, man? It's going to happen. Our job was literally, apart from that, was to control. We were supposed to control, but we put them in charge. You see what I'm saying? Because you're in charge, it doesn't mean you're in control. Now, it means that you are the president. I'm the owner of the company, and I hired you as the president of the corporate of the business or the earth. See what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's what it was. But then we broke code because, we wanted to sleep with, the humans. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, man, this stuff is deep, but I'm breaking all that stuff down, man. So you have to elevate your mind, because all there is mind. You see what I'm saying? So you have to elevate your mind. And I'm not saying not be aware of what's going on, but I'm not saying don't be compassionate. I'm not saying that. Okay. All I'm just saying is everything doesn't concern us. You feel me? Everything doesn't concern us. Sometimes we have to just let it go. Let it go. Just let them do what they got to do. Because the truth of the matter is we are immortal. You feel me? We are immortal. We cannot die. So, because why? You are not the flesh. You feel me? But the humans, they are the flesh because that's all they are, you know? And their heaven is right here on earth. That's their heaven. So if they destroy this, then they destroy themselves. You feel me? And they know this because this is their heaven. That's why they say heaven is a place on earth. Heaven is a place on earth for the human beings, for mankind. You feel me? Our heaven is in the fourth dimension and up, not in the third dimension. Because we are the aliens. We are the extraterrestrials, you know, whatever you call that. You know what I'm saying? But the point I'm making is this earth right here is their heaven. And this earth is our hell. Okay? It's hell to us and it's heaven to them. You feel me? And our heaven is hell to them. But it's heaven for us. But of course, all that is a state of mental being. You feel me? And that's what it is, man. So I hope this made some type of sense. I know I kind of like did a 3-part or threefold in this video, but like I said, it wasn't planned. So it may seem like I was just rambling, but no, if you listen to the video again, you'll see I spoke about this, you know, the organ harvesting. I did that for 2 reasons: to show you that it's real. And people literally got arrested for that, and show you who did it. The people who call themselves the chosen people of God. That was the first part of that. Then the second part was about the abortion. Abortion is more than what meets the eye. There's always an underlying factor when it comes to the United States. Anything that happens in the United States, there's always a bottom line. So the bottom line for abortion is, it's not about you having a choice. It's about what's going to happen to that fetus. Okay? The research that is going to be used for. You feel me? Especially coming from so-called Black women. So just know that these Caucasian women, they don't abort their babies. You see, all of this is a facade. They already are suffering from a fertility rate. Trust me, they want to have babies. So they're not going to abort their babies. I promise you that. So this is nothing for them. On the surface, it may appear that way, but I promise you, that's not what it is. Like everything else. The civil rights movement, it seemed like it was about us, but it wasn't about us. Civil rights was for the pale people, for the immigrants. It wasn't for us because we were not civilians. But you cannot tell our people that. They look at me like I'm crazy. You feel me? So we had to fight to segregate. Now, let me ask you a question. Where did it take us? So everything that happens in the United States, remember, it is not for your benefit. Always keep that in mind. Okay? So that was the second part of that, the abortion. And the third part was to point out the connection between Ukraine and the Canaanites, Joe Biden, all of them. They're all Canaanites. You see what I'm saying? So I hope that video makes sense. Like I said, I will keep you guys updated on my book. I'm on page 97, but of course, it has to be edited and all that stuff got to be done. When it's ready, I will send it to press. I am not doing a PDF version. I'm not doing an ebook. You know what I mean? I'm doing like an actual, paperback book because I want people to have something tangible in their hands so they could read. I want them to cherish that because I promise you the book is a gold mine. Something like you have never read, period, in your entire life. I could guarantee you that. You feel me? So I really love you guys, and thank you for tuning into the live. And I cannot tell you when I'll do another one. Like I said, I just do them whenever. But please, if you missed any part of that, or it may have seemed a little bit confusing, just kind of go over it again and take your time, and you'll see the reason why. Okay, I did the video, and you'll get the message. All right. So until then, I'm gonna post that link for y'all, the one about Ukraine, and also right now, Joe Biden, I think, just is trying to approve another $40 billion for Ukraine, but yet still gas prices are up, food is going up, inflation. Remember years ago, I told y'all about inflation. Everything I've told you about came to pass. Everything I've told you about came to pass. You feel me? And this is just the beginning. But like I said, don't threat. Just know who you are. You feel me? And stand on those principles, and we'll be just fine, because they cannot get rid of us. You feel me? I love y'all, and we'll talk soon. Take care.